Did you know that one of the biggest perks to staying in a Walt Disney World resort is that you have free transportation to and from the parks? Hello there, and to all who come to this happy place, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Abby, and I make lots of Disney planning content here on my channel. If you're new, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. I post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Disney World has a fleet of over 350 buses that are used to transport guests 365 days a year. In this video, I'm going to teach you about the Disney World bus system and how to navigate it on your next Walt Disney World vacation. As a travel agent specializing in Disney destinations, I've made it my mission to make your next Disney vacation as easy and magical as possible. The first thing to know about the bus system is that the buses go from all of the Walt Disney World resorts to the 4 theme parks, Disney Springs, and the water parks. The buses will start running an hour before the park opens. So if Animal Kingdom is opening at 8 a.m., the buses will typically start running at 7 a.m. If there's extra magic hours and it opens at 7 a.m., then the buses might start as early as 6. Now, there's an easy way to track the buses that I'm going to get into a little later that can tell you if they are running even earlier than that. You can catch the bus to your next Disney park at the front of your resort. There's a bus stop that's usually pretty close to the lobby, and some resorts also have some other stops throughout the grounds. Now, if you ask the nearest Disney cast member, they'll be able to tell you where the closest bus stop is, and even escort you over there if you're having trouble finding it. The bus stops are also marked on the resort map that you're given at check-in if you go to the front desk. You can also get one of these maps if you don't check in at the front desk, you just need to go ask. At the bus stop, you'll find 2 different things that can help you plan your bus route. The first thing is going to be a sign that shows you the order of the stops if there are more than one stop within your resort. So that's going to be mostly your moderate resorts, so Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach, and Port Orleans Riverside. At all bus stops, there is a television screen that has the time of the next bus for each park. Now, this time updates as the bus kind of progresses through its route, so it might change at any moment. But this really comes in handy because, personally, I always forget something in the room, and if the bus is going to be a couple minutes, I will run back and get that item. But if it's coming around the corner, then I'm out of luck and just have to go without it. You can also check the bus's next arrival times in the My Disney Experience app. You do have to have a current active reservation, so you have to have already checked in to see any of the wait times, so you can't just go on and practice finding it now. But they are there while you're checked into your hotel. This is one of the ways that you'll know if the buses are running earlier than that 1-hour window before the park opens. Buses typically come every 10 to 20 minutes. Now, at busier times, they have more buses out in circulation, so you may actually get on a bus quicker when it's busier. When there are less people using the transportation, they don't need to have as many buses on the road, so you might wait a little longer. Depending on the park you're going to and the resort that you're staying at, your bus ride could be anywhere from 5 to 25 minutes. It all just depends on the location and the traffic. In order to reduce transportation times, it's important to stay at a resort that is close to a park or is centrally located among all of them. If this is of major concern to you, you can always email me with any questions at abby@lookingglasstravel.com. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Does your family take advantage of the free bus system in Walt Disney World, or do you guys drive your own cars? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, bus transportation is available at every Walt Disney World resort, but they're not all created equal in terms of ease and distance and such. So I'm going to link a video up here that specifically talks about the pros and cons of different resorts. One of the main ones that came up a lot was the transportation times. So make sure to check that out when you're done watching this video. Now, there are some rules and limitations when it comes to the Walt Disney World buses, and the 2 main factors here are strollers and wheelchairs/scooters. All strollers have to be folded up before you board the bus. This is a Florida law, this is not a Disney rule, and there's really no way around it. The only exception to this rule is if the stroller is being used as a wheelchair. And in this event, you would need the red stroller tag that says it is being used as a wheelchair. These tags can be obtained from guest relations and the front desk of your resort, so make sure to go talk to the cast members there. When it comes to scooters and wheelchairs, there's a lot of misinformation out there about how the process all works. The most important thing to note is that there can only be 2 scooters or wheelchairs on the bus at a time, and this usually does count any strollers that are being used as wheelchairs. For the majority of parks and resorts, the scooter and wheelchair entrance is after you go through the queue. Then there's a small queue at the very end, specifically for the guests in wheelchairs and scooters. When the bus arrives, the bus driver will let down a ramp with a pretty awful beep, but you'll get used to it. And then the guest rides their wheelchair or scooter up onto the bus. The bus driver will then strap in and attach the scooter or wheelchair to the actual bus so that it doesn't go rolling around. And from there, the family of that guest will board the bus next. This is to ensure that they don't get separated and put on 2 different buses, and then there's, chaos. From there, normal boarding practices will commence, and the rest of the guests will be let onto the bus. Once you arrive at your destination, all of the people that are not on scooters and wheelchairs will be disembarked first, and then a cast member will come and unbuckle you, unhook you. There's all sorts of bungee cords going on there, and then you'll be able to get off the bus. So here are some tips and Disney bus etiquette rules to follow on your next Walt Disney World vacation. The first one is that your bag does not need a seat. A lot of times, even at busy times, people will put their backpack up on the seat next to them to prevent anyone from sitting next to them. And this is just not nice. I don't know how else to say that. But all bags should be on the ground at your feet, directly at your feet, or on your lap. There are a lot of people that want to get on that bus, and if the roles were reversed and you were one of the last people on the bus, you would certainly want people to keep those bags as close to them as possible so that you could actually have room to get on that bus instead of waiting for the next one. The next thing to keep in mind is to sit with your family. If you leave 2 empty seats here and then 2 empty seats are available at the front of the bus and a family of 4 boards, then you're going to have some parties that are completely split up, and you might have some upset kids, which will make your bus ride not so much fun. So it's in your best interest to kind of clump together with your group as much as possible so that other families can do the same. If you require a seat on the bus and all of the seats appear to be taken and the bus is kind of loading at standing room only, you can feel free to stop at the front of the queue and wait for the next bus. You can let other people pass you and get on into that standing room. There's nothing that says you have to get on and stand on the bus. Sometimes the next bus is only 5 or 10 minutes away, and it can be easier for you to wait those 5 or 10 minutes instead of trying to hold on and stand upright for a 20-minute ride back to Animal Kingdom Lodge. People really are under no obligation to give up their seat for anyone else, so you can't just expect to get on and have people get up for you. With that being said, if you are an able-bodied person who has a seat and you see someone that might struggle to stand upright for that bus ride, such as someone holding a sleeping toddler, I mean, most people have been there, so do the right thing and give up your seat. Keep in mind that you are not the only people on the bus. There are a lot of little ears all over Walt Disney World, so if you are traveling with other adults, try to keep the conversations kid and family friendly. Also, try to keep noise down to a minimum, because when you get 40 people on a bus, it gets pretty loud. So if everyone can keep their voices down a little more, then it won't be too crazy. You should also note that there is not bus transportation between resort to resort. In the event that you need to visit another hotel, I'm going to be doing a video pretty soon about how to navigate that and what your options are as far as paid and free options. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss that video. You also will not be able to take a bus from Disney Springs to a park. You will be able to take a bus from the park to Disney Springs after 4 o'clock. Sometimes they do run those buses earlier, but the advertised time is 4 o'clock. You can always ask the cast members out at the bus area whether or not the Disney Springs bus is running. So now that you know how the Walt Disney World bus system works, make sure to stick around, because in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be talking about the Magical Express, the monorails, the boat transportation, rideshare services, everything you need to know about getting around Walt Disney World. So that's going to be the next series here on this channel. If you missed the last one, I did an entire series about fast passes, because if you are watching this on the day it came out, we did our fast passes this morning for our trip in August. So I thought I would just celebrate that by making a bunch of fast pass videos. So I will link that playlist up here in the cards. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to give me a big thumbs up and hit the red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you're planning your next Walt Disney World vacation and you're curious when you need to book, make sure to check out this video here. And if you haven't already, go ahead over to my Facebook group. It's a free group called Mickey with Littles, and it's all about planning a Disney vacation for a family. So there's a ton of amazing people in there. It's a really good community, and I would love to have you join. I'm very active in there, so it's a great place for us to get to know each other as well. With all that being said, I will talk to you guys again on Thursday. Bye!